your opportunity to present your portion of the case. Keeping in mind your testimony can be used against you. Do you have any, do you wish to give any testimony today?
Yes.
All right. Can you please raise your right hand as best you're able? Do you swear any statements you make to the court today will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. You can put your hand down. What would you like to tell us about the relationship between you and Mr. Coleman?
Well, I don't know him by Mr. Coleman. We didn't date by that name. I don't call him that as far as I know. That was some alias name that he used. But this has been an ongoing thing with Cedric. We've been back and forth with this trauma for the longest now. Cedric is just really trying to flip the script at this point, basically, to sum it all up.
He's really trying to what?
Flip the script. See, this is something that I've been trying to do towards him for the longest. If I put the police on him or send the police to his people's house, then I get threatened and all this other stuff come back my way. He avoided the police back in Fulton County. When I tried to get him served for Cobb County, I don't have an address on him. Anytime he comes over here, I allow him to come over here due to the fact that I had the baby. All of this, I will block Cedric. He'll call multiple times. I asked him to not come over here. He'll pop up over here. I sent y'all videos. I sent y'all text messages. I have witnessed Cedric. Don't give me space. All I asked him plenty of times is to give me space. Sit back. Hold on. Let me get this together. And he don't have no respect for that. When he can't have his way, he flips the script. It's, oh, I'm going to kill you, or I'm going to hurt somebody around you, or I'm going to do this and this and that. This has been an ongoing thing with him. He don't stop.
All right, let me jump in for just a second. Mr. Pitts, you seem to have made your way back to us, but you're free to log off. All right. My apologies for the interruption there. I just knew we had somebody lost there, so I was trying to give him a quick instruction. All right, so you said that he's kind of been trying to come around, and do you believe that's in regards to wanting to be able to see and have the child more?
No, this been going on since before I got pregnant.
Okay, go on.
So he been doing this way before I got pregnant. It's just when I got pregnant, things got worse. Now it seems like he used the baby as leverage to try to manipulate the whole situation. Now it's, oh, I'm doing this because of the baby. Oh, the baby this, the baby that. It ain't about the baby. Cedric can't have his way with me. So now he's trying to flip the script all over again. He's possessive and he's controlling.
So we had, he testified about an incident in late May. Apart from that incident, when was the last time that you actually were saw him or were in the same place as him?
He was over here around April. He was over here around my birthday. And I had to ask him to leave around that time. And when I asked him, anytime I asked him to leave, it's, oh, you're going to make me hurt somebody. And then he told my sister, oh, he was going to shoot up my house. He couldn't come down to the hospital because he told everybody that he was going to shoot up. He was going to kill everybody at the hospital. Anytime Cedric can't have his way, he do stuff like this. So now he's trying to flip it and make it seem like I'm the aggressor. And it's not that, because anytime I try to defend myself against him, I get the backlash. Oh, it's why you doing this? Why you threatening me? Why you calling the police? Oh, you lucky to be doing this and this and that. I don't have time for that. All I asked was to leave me alone. I can't be left alone.
Okay, so if that was, do you think it was early April or late April that you two saw each other?
It was early April. He was over here around my birthday. My birthday, April 12th.
So basically in the last 3 months, the only time you two have been in the same place was this May 25th incident.
Right. And I came outside because I knew he was going to be outside.
And where did this happen?
At my house, when he sent the process server to my house. I came outside because I really thought the papers was fake. because it was just like the first couple papers of the legitimation summons, and it wasn't a whole packet. And the name on it was Creed Coleman, and I'm like, this ain't this man's real name. So I walked outside, and he come driving down the street, laughing, ah ha 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 ha. Oh, you got my message. I see you got my message. And I reached out because for some reason I thought I was gonna stop his car. I wasn't finna throw my phone at this man. I had my phone and the paper in my hand at the same time. My whole Ring camera caught the whole incident. But I reached out thinking that I'm finna stop this man because I'm asking him, like, hey, yo, what is this? For one who is screaming, what is you summoning me for? He rolled around. Then, yes, my brother was standing on the porch, and he said to my brother, hey, you gonna need to help her. I hope you gonna be there to help her. My brother told him, I don't have nothing to do with that. Cedric was parked. He parked right in front of my house, and then he drove off.
All right. So irrespective of the name on the paperwork, you recognize the person who was there to be the person you knew as Cedric, who has testified today. He was formerly known by Cedric, but today is known as Creed Coleman.
Right.
Okay, so both in regards to the protective order and the legitimation, there's not a question today to resolve as to identity. It is the two human beings I'm dealing with are the human beings I'm supposed to be dealing with.
Yes, sir.
All right. As long as we're all on the same page there. I'm pretty sure we are. I just want to make sure.
Yes, sir.
So, and ma'am, he's made some allegations regarding you with a firearm. Do you have any statements regarding those?
I didn't shoot at Cedric. This incident that he's talking about, yeah, we did have an altercation at my house, and I asked him to leave. I was pushing him out my door, and I did have a shoe in my hand. And I was asking him to leave. Anytime I asked him to leave, Cedric like to do this bully, intimidating thing that he like to use his size. Oh, you ain't no killer. You can't do this and this and that to me. So I got rid of him out my house. I did not shoot at Cedric. I went on my back porch, and my gun was jammed, and I let off one round into the ground, which was way away from him. It had nothing to do with Cedric.
Okay, so you're saying that when that happened, you were on the back porch. When
Cedric
and where was he?
He was going. He was already going towards his car, going this way, and my back porch was that way. Wasn't nowhere directed toward him. Didn't aim at him at all. We had an incident that happened in Henry County, and I couldn't get the copy of the actual report of the incident because they considered it a family matter, and they said a lawyer needed to be present in order to get the paperwork. So I wasn't able to present that as anything.
What I'm about to say, I'm not directing at you. That seems like a real fishy answer. That's odd to me. But people get told odd things all the time, and then they come and they talk to us about them. So, yeah, it's certainly, sometimes policy and procedure get in the way of what makes good sense. But, all right, so. I don't think I have any questions for you at this point. Mr. Coleman, do you have any other questions that you think the court needs to ask of this witness?
Yes, sir. It was just stated before you saw me on May that before I was seen on May the 25th with the processor that I hadn't been seen since April, right?
That's what she was thinking.
Okay, that's what she was thinking. That That's
Okay.
what she stated that, sir.
Right. So she said that there had been communication in between, but she was thinking that it was April around her birthday the last time you two were in the same place.
No,
No.
he came over here.
Hang on. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, the night of after Cinco de Mayo, the night I did call him, I asked him to come and get me, but he started talking to other mess. I told him to not come get me, and I came home. Well, I came home probably 2 hours after I spoke to him, and Cedric came over here and started beating on my window. He started screaming at my mother, and he was sitting outside, and I recorded it, and I asked him to leave. I asked him, anytime I ask him to leave, he's not gonna leave.
All right, so hang on a second. Let me stop you there. Mr. Coleman, she
Yes.
is saying that you two were in the same place that same night. You indicated that there were text messages exchanged.
Listen, that's what I'm sitting up there telling you. At 1:30 in the morning, I was never asked not to come or nothing. I kept texting her. I got the text messages still. I kept texting her saying, why would you have me come out here? Why would you do this? Why did you do that? Came to her house after I was riding around there looking for her for hours. But she finally texted me back, boy gone, you stupid. Shut your dumb ass up. She said all this, and then she hit me. By the time I pulled up to her house, she hit my phone and said, I'm home, my bae. She didn't say baby, she said bae, okay. Good night, talk to you tomorrow. By that time, I knocked on the window. When I knocked on the window, her mom came to the window talking about, what do you want? I told her mom straight up. I said, shut the F up. I'm talking to my daughter mother. I said, come outside. So I went back to my car. I sat down. She went to talking loud. It's all on her ring camera. She told me she was gonna bust me. She's gonna do this. She's gonna do that. She's gonna kill me. She got on the call to call 911. 911 has that call. See, she's not putting all this in there. 911 has that call. Where she said, y'all don't ever come get this pussy. I'm gonna bust this pussy. You don't get legitimation. You can't tell me what to do with her. You can't do nothing because you ain't got no legitimization pussy. Then she invited me to suck her penis. She don't have a penis. She went to grabbing her pants like she had one. She didn't say penis. She actually said dick. She had some more people on the phone with her. Then I told her, I'm gonna wait for the police to come so they can make a report of this. This is exactly what I told her. I said, I need them to make a report of this. So when police finally came, she walked up to my car. If you subpoena her ring camera video, she walked up to my car with this gun in her hand. And I'm sitting there just looking at her the whole time, just looking. And she was like, so what's up? So what's up? And I just said, ain't nothing up. I said, I'm waiting on the police. That's all I'm doing. When the police finally came, while she was standing close to my car, I said, there they go right there. She turned around, walked in the house, put her gun up. The police came up to me. He said, somebody called. I said, yeah, she called. I gave him my license. I said, you need my license? He said, for what? I said, because she called on me. I said, I don't want no problems. Boom. Gave my license. She came. She told the police I threatened her that I was going to kill her. And I said, I never said that to her, man. I said, I've been saying the whole time. I said, check the 911 record. She told the police it was on her camera. The police said, go in the house, get the video. She went in the house to get the video. I told the cop, she's not coming back out that door, man. By that time, his sergeant pulled up. He was like, you think so? I said, but she's not coming. Me and that cop stayed out there for 15 minutes. The sergeant told the cop, go knock on that door and get her back out here. The cop knocked on the door. When he knocked on the door, she didn't answer. Her sister came to the door, and her sister like, what the fuck are they doing by my car? And then she said, the police want you. She told her sister, close my motherfucking door. I don't have to talk to them. She said exactly like that. The cop came back, gave me my driver's license, and told me, man, she told you to get legitimization? Go get legitimization, because I already see this going to be a problem. I said, I told you she wasn't coming back out. He said, yeah, man. He said, just go and leave. I said, all right, man. Boom, I left. I know every time a cop is called, they had to make a report of it, right, sir?
Okay.
So they had to make a report of it, and they still should have that 911 call with her saying all this. I didn't say nothing. That whole process, I just sat there. That whole process. So if I was this big threat, why would I? If I was a threat and doing all this extra, why would I sit there? Why would I just sit right there and don't do nothing? I ain't gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna do none of that. But I'm not leaving this spot until they get here, so they can make.
So I guess what I'm wondering is why you had to be there at all. Isn't that what you pay the other people for?
Who?
Why did you have to be there at all? Isn't that what you pay the process server for?
No, this was before that, sir.
Oh,
this was before
right,
that.
But why were you there with the process server?
When I paid the process server at the top of the thing, she told me to meet her. The process server, she'll come testify. She told me to meet her. The lady,
so you're saying you were there at the process server's request.
Yes, when that was another date.
Okay.
That was the 25th. This day that we talking about now The day that we talk about now was May the 6th. This is the day that she woke me up at 1:30 in the morning to come and save her and come and get her. She was drunk and stuff. She said, come and save her. So by me going off, I still
So
had
did you
all
go to the house that night or did you go somewhere else?
I went to where she said she told me to come to. I went to this area of Atlanta she told me to come to that they have a lot of shootings and killings there. So she said she down there. So I went down there. I was down there for like
What
3
area is
hours.
that?
4th Ward, Atlanta.
All right, that wouldn't have been in my top few guesses, but okay.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, she in the old 4th Ward area. So anyway, when she stopped answering, the text. And I'm like, yo, I'm here. What is you doing? You got me out here this time of the morning. You woke me up. I didn't wake you up. You woke me up. I was asleep. I hadn't talked to you. Then when I came out to the house, I'm like, cause she not answering. She ain't doing that. By the time I got pulled up in front of the house, that's when she texted me back. By the time I pulled in front of her house, because my thought was, where's my baby? And she texted me back and said that the first thing you're gonna ask about is her. Why did you ask about her and not me? It's just
well, I'm
ongoing.
gonna just jump in here because
Yes, sir.
there's some level setting that kind of needs to take place here, and these
Yes, sir.
conversations happen often in this court, and
Yes, sir.
they're tough pills to swallow because
Yes, sir.
reality as you know it to be and the law are two very different things sometimes, and this is
Yes.
one of those times, and it's probably the one that comes up the most often because I don't know that if you knew this or not, but that's not your child, and it's not your child until there's court paperwork that says so.
Yes,
So
sir.
even though you know it's your child, and even though she believes and has indicated, I think in her paperwork probably that it's your child as well, in terms of the legal rights you have regarding that child, they don't attach until that legitimation process is complete. And so I'm grateful to hear that you are undertaking that process
Mhm.
because that is a process that will set some boundaries and some guardrails for both of you.
Yes, sir.
In they're
But
very
I didn't know.
dedicated.
But I didn't know that, sir. I didn't know that. She screamed it that night. She screamed legitimation, and then when she said it, I
Yep.
told the cop what she said, and then the cop told me that. And right after that, that's when I went and filed paperwork.
Well, the great thing about that process is that they have, in situations like this where
Yes.
you have not been able to build that relationship with the child yet, they will work with you and have plans in place to allow, assuming the process is completed,
Yes,
to
sir.
allow for that relationship to grow and blossom over time. And it
Yes.
will also set some boundaries as far as the contact and frequency of contact between the two of you and how custody exchanges might happen and so on. And so
Yes,
it's
sir.
a good process that gives you a chance as it relates to the case and the protective order. What I will say is this:
Yes, sir.
the contact between the two of you to this point has been very limited, and there are provisions in the protective orders that really deal with the concept of emergency intervention and things of that nature. And the state of this relationship and the state of your lives is not such that the evidence is there for this to believe that this is the type of um, situation where this type of court order is the right court order to issue. And what I liken it to is if you have a toolbox, there might be a job for a screwdriver, or there might be a job for a hammer or a
Yes, sir.
wrench. But if you've got one and not the other two, you might not be able to do the job correctly, and who knows how it ends up. And that's a little bit what this is like, because I understand your concerns, but this particular type of order, this is essentially a request for an emergency intervention, is not really, I think, the right thing for this job. And so what should happen is that you should continue with your legitimation case. And then to the extent either or both of you need to talk to the courts about safe custody exchange, visitation, and so on, those are discussions you have with that court, because that is a court. The way my court is set up, this type of hearing specifically, I have very little discretion. I am told by the law I can intervene if these things have already happened, and if I think these other things might happen in the future. In legitimation, the question is very different, and in custody and visitation and so on, the focus is on the best interest of the child. And whatever that judge thinks that means, The judge can get to know the parties a little bit and figure that out. But where I sit today, that is not a hat that I really get to put on. And and even if I did, I don't have the freedom to do whatever I might think it would be necessarily, unless certain other things have already happened to allow that from a legal standpoint. What will happen with the protective order is that it will be closed for the time being. That means that you two are able to contact each other if you wish. Each of you has made it clear that you have concerns about the other. And so what I would say is that you two should communicate clearly but politely with each other to the extent you need to, and set those boundaries. And if the other person sets a boundary, then the other side needs to respect it. If somebody says, don't come to my house, don't come to the house. If somebody says, you're not allowed to see the child yet, then if she's the mother and she's the only one that has custody rights, she gets to say that, whether that's something you agree with or not. And this is not a situation where it presents an expectation that you two will be in the same place unless one of you goes out of your way to put yourself there. And so this isn't a situation where somebody is leaving a formerly shared home or anything like that would require a lot of back and forth or overlapping social circles and so on. And so I don't believe that the evidence presented today is sufficient for the extension of the order. And so the case will be closed out sometime later this week. And then the legitimation case can proceed on as needed, because the judge there will also have the ability to put any safeguards or protections in place that they think are appropriate regarding your child. I try to avoid using names since we're streaming on YouTube just for privacy reasons, but regarding M, when that court case works its way through the system. And so we're going to place you both in the waiting room. You're going to
To carry on,
Who sang that song?
Debbie Boone.
That's right.
But in the movie, it was,
Circa 78. How far back?
yes, but it was in the 70s. And in the movie, the person who played it was the girl who played in Grease, Kiki somebody.
Oh, not Olivia Newton.
No, Olivia Newton-John didn't play in the
She
movie.
was one of the cool ladies.
Yes, I think she was the one who was the beauty school dropout. Yes, Dee Khan.
Yeah.
Yes, she played in the movie. And the name of the movie, I think, was You Light Up My Life.
Frenchie? What was the movie?
I think the name of the movie was You Light Up My Life.
I don't remember that. The girl's favorite movie right now. It's so interesting. They like Breakfast Club was her favorite movie.
Oh, wow.
It was. Now it's Titanic. Because that boat going down kind of pricked their interest. And I said, well, there's a movie about it. So they are all about Titanic. So
Oh my
we've been
gosh.
watching Titanic. 3.5 hours long. Do you know how long? It's a good movie.
But so are they going through their phase where their Molly Ringwald phase, where they're watching all those
They
movies?
just got into those movies, which I'm glad because I love them. Those were
Mhm.
my generation movies. I was 16 years old.
Are you going to have them watch Billie Jean? Pay as you go, Mr. Piper. Pay as you go.
It's a legend.
Yeah, the Legend of Billie Jean.
I would if they're interested. They've got a pretty wide range of interests, which is really, really good. I like that. And Harper's favorite entertainer right now is Britney Spears. She loved like.
Hey, it could be Neil Diamond.
It could be, or it could be Metallica, which wouldn't bother me either.
Yeah,
So far, so good.
or Cinderella.
They're kind of past all that.
No, the group Cinderella.
Oh, Cinderella.
Do you remember
I do.
Cinderella,
Oh,
the big
yeah.
hairband?
Uh-huh.
Or Rat?
Mid 80s.
Metalhead like Tochi, of course,
Yeah, Motley Crue, all the.
Yes.
Warrant.
Foreigner.
I could go. I don't consider them big.
Foreigner. Well, they're not really heavy metal, but their songs are.
Crocus.
Yeah.
Remember Crocus? Are we dating ourselves? We probably are dating.
We are. And what was the
Still good
name?
music though. It's great music.
Yeah. What was the name of
I thought.
the
Def
group?
Leppard was-
Oh, White Snake.
Oh, yeah. David Coverdale. It's all good bands. So that's one of my go-tos.
Lita Ford.
That's one of my go-tos on Pandora is like 80s hair rock. It's
Do you remember Lita Ford?
yes, I do.
She still says, "What happened to our rock and our kiss me twice?" Yeah,
She was a rock.
she was. But they showed they did an interview of her on the beach, and it was so dramatic because the wind is blowing and she's sitting there with her guitar and she's like, people are going to wake up and say, "What happened to our rock and roll?" And I'm like,
I'll say the best musical decade.
I'm a fan of the 50s. I'm a fan of the 60s.
A lot of great music there too, without a doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
I like.
I think everybody, whatever era you grew up in, you think the music was great. Because that takes you back sort of to your teenage years.
I don't know how you could arbitrarily gauge what decade truly produced the best artistry in terms of. But today, I don't understand music today, but that's probably a function of age.
Well, either I'm going deaf or I can't understand what they're saying.
I can't either.
Because some of it, I'm like, what are they saying? What's going on here?
It just doesn't seem to be very creative. That's the
No.
thing that gets me. It's like, to me, it's music, but it's really, there's no thought to.
You know, they did
Structure to it. It's just a beat and words.
they did a program on Motown. And Smokey Robinson says that when he first came to Motown, he's there with his group. You know, they're trying to figure out what the name of it is going to be. And of course, it became the Miracles. But he said he met with the owner of Motown, Berry Gordy, and some other people who were writing music. They're like, "Do you write music?" He's like, "Yes, I do write music." And he said they told him a song, you must have the beginning, the middle, and the end. He said you would think everybody would know that. But they kept telling him the song has to tell a story and it has to grab you. And that's how he started writing. And he wrote so many songs. You know who else has written a lot of songs that people don't realize? Babyface. Babyface has his hands on so much music that everybody loves. Even Prince.
Well, Prince was. See, I like all that music.
Yeah.
I do. And even like all the Motown stuff,
Mhm.
late 60s.
Yes.
That was good music.
People just don't write well anymore.
That's also another go-to on my Pandora. I have like 5 go-tos. Motown's one of them, classic rock.
My go-to,
90s hip hop over there.
my go-to for songs, just if I want to hear something, Otis Redding and Bobby Womack and Bobby Blue Bland. Bobby Blue Bland has a CD, he's since passed, 2 Steps from the Blues. And that CD takes you through an entire lifespan. From the time he meets the lady that he's in love with, the breakup, and then the ending. And you just feel so sad for him because it goes.
The Sanchos and Sanchos in between.
The
The Agasalt case. And then the dismiss wave.
Yes. Well, I will tell you at the end of the song, at the end of the album or CD, whatever they're calling them now, he goes to St. James Infirmary. So she's dying. But yes, there's some great songs. Usually though, when I'm coming in, I'll either put it on the Soul channel, which supposedly plays the oldies. And when they started playing Cooling the Gang as an oldie, I'm like, I am old. I mean, they're playing Cooling the Gang, Hollywood Swinging as an oldie.
They were early 80s, late 70s, early 80s.
Now it's the oldies. So I either do that or I do the jazz channel or Frank Sinatra channel.
They're good.
They are.
Those are real good.
But introduce your babies to Cooling the Gang.
I will. They have a pretty wide range. We'll
Yeah.
sometimes just go through old YouTube videos and I'll expose them to old music. And their current, well, not anymore. Their last current favorite song was Dancing Queen by ABBA.
I love
And they
ABBA.
produced it at school through a production they were doing, and they loved that damn song.
Do you know the story behind
They're good.
Dancing Queen?
Yeah, that's good music. No.
The story behind the Dancing Queen, you know, where they say only 17?
Yeah.
It's supposed to have been only 14 or something, but they were saying, no, that sounds very creepy. So we're going to up the age to 17. So whenever I listen to it now, I know it's not supposed to be only 17.
Yeah. All right, Judge, have a good Tuesday.
All right, you two. It's going to be a great Tuesday.
Good.
Don't tell me to have a good Tuesday. It's going to be great.
Party's still going strong here.
Have a good one.
Yes, what is it, Western? I've
Oh.
been staying home there for a few days with a friend.
You got arrested over there at 4221 Southwest 45th. Is that where you were staying, or are you
No.
staying at 4504? So where do you stay?
It's just right around the corner there, some apartments.
Do you know the names of the apartments?
I can't remember it.
Okay. Well, hey, it looks like yesterday they arrested you yesterday morning for public intoxication. You can plead not guilty to that, no contest or guilty. What do you want to do?
I honestly wasn't on anything.
Well, it looks like maybe they thought you had used some meth.
Well,
You told
I
them
do
you
have
used
it.
meth.
I do have a medical record that you have to have that sometimes. You know,
Really?
like, yes, because like I didn't have a heart in my chest when I was born.
You didn't have a what?
I didn't have a heart in my chest when I was born.
Okay.
So
Hey,
I gotta take it. It's like an adrenaline.
okay, I'm gonna let you go back to
Keep me
your,
from dying.
yeah, Mr. Lurkey, I'm gonna let you go back to your pod. We're gonna issue what's called a bond. You're gonna have to make sure you show up on your bond. You can go back to your pod.
That was a trouble on my heart.
One more step forward.
Oh, my head.
Yeah, thank you. You have a public intoxication charge from last night. You may plead not guilty, no contest, or guilty. How do you want to handle it?
So I sit my door, on my door and my apartment, And then because even right now my door is open and everything is open for house and nobody home, even my shoes I don't have.
Ms. Dang, this is not your opportunity to talk about the facts of the case. That's what your trial would be for. So you're certainly welcome to tell me you want to plead not guilty if you feel like you want to come into court and have a trial, or you can plead guilty or no contest. If you plead not guilty, I'll set a bond, okay? If you plead guilty or no contest, I would find you guilty of public intoxication. It would be $484. I would give you the 1-day jail credit. Your balance would be $334. I would release you to appear here at municipal court no later than 2 p.m. on the first business day following your release. If you get out on the bond because you plead not guilty, you'll just get out. You'll come see me tomorrow. And at tomorrow, we'll reset your court date to give you time to prepare for trial.
So what I need to do now?
You do whichever one you want. If you want to plead not guilty, you can plead not guilty.
Yeah, I'm not guilty because they continue.
Okay. I'm going to accept your plea of not guilty. Are you okay with English, or do you prefer a different language?
Oh, it's just okay when you give me another language too.
You're okay with English, but you like what language do you prefer to speak in? Which is the most,
I speak Dinka.
you speak Dinka?
Yeah.
Okay, when you come to court tomorrow, if you prefer to speak in Dinka,
Mhm.
Will you let us know and then we'll get a Dinka interpreter on the phone?
Mhm. So I'll go back in the room now?
It looks like she froze. Give her just a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this was my first time partying around. I was here all month.
Okay, guys. Let's get started again. Sorry about that. My computer froze. So is it Lieb? Mr. Lieb?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on up. Where do you live, sir?
I was staying at the Salvation Army. And I get my mail at the resource center.
Are you registered with them to get mail there?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. So you've got a public intoxication charge from July 10th. Again, that's Class C misdemeanor, punishable by a fine of up to $500. You can hire a lawyer or tell me you want to have a trial. Do you want to do either one of those things?
I just pleaded guilty.
You just want to plead guilty? If you plead guilty, I'll find you guilty. You will be time served.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty. I'll assess fine support cost and give you that jail credit and your time served. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Hope things get better. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Mr. Scholes. Mr. Scholes, what's going on today? We're seeing you way too much.
Yes.
You can go back.
Hmm?
That is just the PDS mess with me. I don't know.
Okay, well, it looks like over there at over on Southwestern, somebody said you stole some food, and then you were in possession of a pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how do you want to handle that? Do you want to plead not guilty, no contest, or guilty?
Yes.
If you plead guilty, I'm going to find you guilty. You're not going to be time served. So you're going to have to stay in jail, or excuse me, I'm going to let you out. You'll have to come in and set up a payment plan. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now let's talk about this. So on the theft, that's $485, give you 3 days jail credit. Your balance on that's just $35. Part, you do not have to do it. You could stay in jail one more day and you would be done, but you would have to remand yourself. Do you want to stay in jail until tomorrow at 8 a.m.? Or do you want to get out today and come in tomorrow and set up that payment? You have to be here at court by tomorrow at 2 and we'll set up a payment plan for you on your balance.
I just stay one more day.
Okay, you're going to sign a document for the deputy saying you're staying. Mr. Scholes, you and I have talked about in the past how you need to kind of work on whatever's going on.
Yes, ma'am.
If you need some help with that, the deputy can give you some contact information for Texas Panhandle Centers, because we didn't see you for a long time and now we're seeing you quite frequently, and frankly, I'm concerned. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Scholes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, Miss Kemp. Miss Kemp, how are you today? I'm Judge Hamilton.
Okay.
Okay, well, on Monday, you received a citation for public intoxication
Right.
over there on I-40.
Yes.
That's a Class C misdemeanor, punishable by a fine of up to $500.
Okay.
You can hire a lawyer, or you can tell me you want to have a trial.
No, it's okay.
Okay, you can plead guilty or not guilty or no contest.
Just plead guilty.
Okay, Miss Kemp, your time served. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.